Oh, alright. Hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So falling a little behind schedule with regards to videos and read-throughs and things, just because it has been hot as balls the last couple of weeks, and it has made me extremely fatigued between work and everything else. So I haven't had the time or energy, and besides, I didn't want the fan like running at full blast while I was recording because that would have been probably way more annoying than necessary. And I didn't want to have to try to like edit out the sound and stuff like that because that'd be too much effort. So I put it off until now where it's a little bit cooler but still really damn hot. So I do have the fan running. Like I've said in previous videos, you will hear probably like a slight fan noise in the background, but whenever I'm speaking, it shouldn't be a big issue. It shouldn't detract from what I'm saying or like shouldn't drown out my voice or anything. But just in case you're wondering what that was, that's what it is. Expect a channel update sometime today as well. It should be pretty short and sweet, like nothing much new to add, just giving you a general idea of what to expect coming in the next week or so. So without further ado, let us dive into the Spy Family chapter, Mission 65. So some slight Twitter spoilers and things. I know this is a your-centric chapter, so I'm looking forward to it. So let's get into it. Oh, man, I think this is the goddamn. I think this is the first time I've noticed that in the family part of the Spy Family logo, we actually have like mini silhouettes of the main characters. Cannot believe I've never noticed that before. But yeah, Spy Family Mission 65 by Tetsuya Endo, with translation by Casey Lowe and lettering by Rina Mappa. So we see Yor getting ready to head out saying, "Hey Anya, I'm going out to do a little shopping. Is there anything you want me to pick up for you?" You see Bond in the background just kind of like rolling around as he's waiting for Anya to come back and play with him. And she's like, I want the Crunch Crunch tea cakes Master Henderson gave me. And Yor's like, Crunch Crunch tea cakes? Do you know what brand? And she's like, nope. And Yor's just like, well, I'll do my best to find them. And Anya's like, oh, and one more thing. Scion Boy said he'd bring me an amazing cake, but he never did. He owes me too. What a cake cheat. And you see Anya's imagination just this wide, bugged out eyes. Damien with like a little bit of snot dripping out of his nose. Ridiculous looking face going, I'm gonna buy you an amazing cake. Best you've ever had. And it's just like, he never said this. And Yor's like, aw. He's like, okay, an amazing cake and the crunchiest tea cakes I can find. And you see Anya going, yay! And you see poor Bond imagining with the crunch of the tea cakes and him going to heaven as he eats them. And you see as Yor's making her way down the stairs, she goes, hee hee, it's nice to see Anya and Damien getting along so well. I feared the worst after Anya punched him. It was all my fault for training her. But maybe fighting like that led to them becoming better friends. No, that's probably not it. This is due to how hard Anya worked to make things right. And as a mother, I should be working harder too. I can start by tracking down those cakes she wanted. Where can I find them? She's poking her head out. She's kind of like looking from side to side, deciding and think which way to go. And she hears two of her neighbors outside talking and going, and the cream sandwich cookies there are divine. It's like, I've had those. He's like, oh, hello, Mrs. Forger. Going shopping? And she's like, oh, good afternoon. And the light bulb goes off for yours. She's like, these women must know the best bakeries in the city. He's like, by chance. It's like, you don't know where to get the crunchiest tea. Oh my god. Poor yours letting her imagination run wild. She's imagining the woman be like, you don't know where to get the crunchiest tea cakes? What decent mother wouldn't know that? Something's fishy here. And she just panics and runs away with a, never mind, please excuse me. And then they're both just looking at her confused. And she's like, yikes, I nearly got myself reported to the SSS there. Sorry, quick digression before I continue. I always forget to do this at the beginning. I do have a fan running because it has been hot as balls. Did I mention this at the start? I cannot remember if I even mentioned. I might have mentioned this at the start, but to reiterate, fan running. If you're wondering what the noise is, that's what it is. Sorry, my brain just scrambled with the heat and everything else. But yeah, back to the story with Yor going, yikes, I nearly got myself reported at the SSS there. And she's walking down the street seeing all these like happy couples and going, ha ha ha, have you been to that new place on Lincoln Street? Isn't it great? And she's like, how much longer will it take before I finally get good at acting normal? Where did everyone else go to learn how to be normal? Did their parents teach them? I guess I'm just... And she's like, no, don't get discouraged, Yor. You need to keep at it for the sake of your work. And she's like, oh, maybe a department store would have the best cakes? And you see her walking and just like nervously like glancing around. She's like, gah, I never go to places like this alone. This is so stressful. And she sees one of the cosmetic counter ladies going, we have some dramatic new eyeliner. And she's like, huh? So piercing eyes are all the rage now. She's like, what? They're selling a concealed weapon for piercing eyeballs? It's like, no, no, I mustn't. I have to pretend like I'm a normal person. And she's like, I'm not interested in weapons. I'm looking for the bakery. And you see the lady just giving her the look, and she's like, baked goods are on the next floor down. She's like, oh, thank you very much. And she just like turns around and just shuffles away. So I guess the rumors are true. Department stores are scary places. For someone like me, this place is a minefield of traps and temptations. I need to get what I came for and get out of here fast. And you see these two little people walking up the stairs, like this pile of packages in front of them. He's like, Nola, can't you please hurry it up a little? You see the packages kind of wobbling a little bit. He's like, I'm sorry, man, but you've bought so much. I can't see where I'm going. And you see as they're coming up the stairs, Yor's going their way, heading down. He's like, then step aside and let me get ahead of... And you see a shake, shake. And then, man, watch out! As you see the lady behind her about to fall backwards with all the packages. And you see, oh no! Yes! And you see Yor just with a grip, just grabbing the lady's hand before she falls. And she whips her leg around to catch some of the packages on her foot. And she catches the rest of them in her other hand. And you see this lady just looking at her in shock and awe as Yor just smiles at her. He's like, are you all right? And she's like, that was incredible! And she just claps Yor's hand. He's like, huh? He's like, you're absolutely amazing! Swish, swash, swoosh! No normal person could move like that. And Yor's like, uh-oh. He's like, ma'am, are you hurt? So you've got to be some kind of athlete, am I right? Are you from around here? And Yor's just freaking out, be like, bah, I'm just a housewife. I just came here to buy cakes. He's like, so you have no pressing business today? Then would you join me for something? And Yor's like, no, I have to buy those cakes, so... He's like, cakes, you say? Well, just take as many as you like. See that the packages of goods, the boxes that Yor's holding in her hand are just all apparently different kinds of cakes and sweets. He's like, well, just take as many as you like. And Yor's like, what? These are all cakes? He's like, consider it a token of my gratitude. What do you say? And you see her butler going, please, spry and kindly stranger, do accept my lady's offer so that we can reward you further. And Yor's like, huh? Huh? And you see later at the sports hall, Yor's looking dressed up in a little gym outfit. He's like, what? Oh, what? So why am I wearing this? And you have the lady she saved going, that looks incredible on you. And you see all the other women introducing themselves going, is she the one you met, Melinda? That's the ringer? Like, she sure is. And Yor's like, what? And you see, as the Lady Patriot Society, we participate in all sorts of community activities, including this All Mothers Volleyball League. My friends here are all fellow moms who live here in Berlin. And you see her kind of laying out all the packages. It looks like it was various snacks and things that they bought. And they're like, please help yourselves. It's like the Northside team always beats us. You have to help us win. Do you have a lot of experience playing volleyball? And Yor's like, I don't have any. He's like, seriously? None? And she's like, is playing volleyball a normal thing to do? And you see one of the others going, it is now. mommy volleyball leagues are all the rage. And you see York kind of just having a little sparkle eyes. She's like, so volleyball is normal? It's like, I understand then. I'll give it my all. It's like, as long as I'm home by dinner. It's like, you will? Wonderful. It's like, but didn't she say she's never played before? And you have Melinda going, oh, never mind that. She's quite the athlete. Quite the athlete. Let me give you the rundown of the rules. And Yor's like, oh, okay. He's like, but first, what's your name? And she's like, your Forger. And you have a fleet as you have them taking the court. You have Get Ready Yor, and you see Yor just taking a fighting stance. And she's like, got it. And she's like, so, the goal is to knock the ball onto the opponent's side of the court without letting it hit the ground. And you see a hup and a flap as the other team serves the ball towards Yor. And you see a glint as she just punches the ball back into the air. And one of the other mothers is like, good receive, I think. A little high. And you see a boing as the ball just goes high up into the air. And Yor just goes forward with a stomp and just leaps up. You have a huh? And you have a swash and a yeah! And then gently now, as she just like spikes it with a bam, as it hits with the impact of a missile with the other team. But you see it just bounces off the back wall and lands. And Yor's like, yes, I did it! That's what it's supposed to do, right? And you see all of them just in complete shock. And she's like, apparently that's what I wasn't. That wasn't what I was supposed to do. Melinda clasped her hand against like, Yor, that was incredible. You're incredible. He's like, it was? He's like, but it's against the rules for one person to touch the ball twice in a row. So watch out for that. He's like, I'm sorry. And you see as the other team serves again, she's like, just one hit. Just one hit. You see a glint as the ball comes flying towards her. And Yor's just like, whoosh, whoosh. And she's just like gliding it between the others. And you see a wham as soon as she just goes, gets the serve, and just spikes it back into the court. And she's like, that time I got it right, didn't I? And you see everyone just looking at her in shock again. She's like, everyone seems angry at me. What did I do now? I followed the rules. Should I have held back more? And you see Melinda just smiling at her and goes, Yor, try to relax. Volleyball isn't a solo sport, you know. And that broke a rule too, as she just pats her on the back. And Yor's like, huh? I'm sorry. I thought it'd be rude to have anyone else help. Newbies do the heavy lifting, right? And Melinda's like, you've never played on a team before, have you? You're just full of surprises. Listen, I'm sorry about that whole ringer business. Forget about winning. Just try to enjoy yourself. All I wanted was for us to have a little fun together. He's like, yes, ma'am. I'll work my hardest to have fun. And you see that this time, like, Yor's kind of doing little team things. You see the others kind of like flipping the balls to receive and giving each other high fives. And you see Yor just spiking the ball into the net and spiking a crater into the ground with her serve. And sending one flying right out into space. Ah, yeah, that's good. Yeah, well, Northside beat us again, but that sure was a fun match. It's like, thank you, Yor. And you see them all just having a little bit of tea later on after the match. Yor just sitting there looking all sad with a little tear, with a gloom. But she's like, but all I did was get in the way. It's like, oh, stop that. You were a beast out there. Their entire team looked ready to burst into tears. And you have, the waiter comes by as someone goes, I'll have the Imperatrice rose tea service, please. It's like, what will you be having, Yor? It's like, as will I. It's like, right away, ma'am. And she's like, oh, the Emperor something tea for me, too. And Melinda's like, Yor, just order whatever you want. Don't tell me you're one of those girls who worries about fitting in. And Yor's like, no, I'm not like that at all. It's like, so tell us, Yor, are you married? And she's like, yeah, more or less. It's like, any kids? He's like, oh, I have a daughter, but I'm just her stepmother. It's like, my, I bet that brings a whole host of challenges. That must be hard for you. He's like, oh no, we always have a lot of fun together. It's like, it's just that as a mother and as a wife too, there's so many times I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And they're all like, welcome to the club, dear. My kids are my own flesh and blood, and I still have no idea how to handle them. That's the whole reason we get together like this, to talk. Every day is a new chance to learn. You see yours kind of surprised by this, and she's like, not knowing what to do is normal? You have Melinda going, I hope you'll come have fun with us again sometime. I promise the Lady Patriot Society isn't as stuffy as it sounds. And you have another one going, it's not just volleyball, we do all sorts of things. And yours like, dude, do you really mean that? It's like, yes. It's like, there's so much I want to learn from you. I promise I won't waste this opportunity. And Melinda's like, now who's being stuffy, you know? And you have one of the other ladies going, speaking of wasted opportunities, you won't believe this, Melinda. Our little one got another nitrous bolt. That's 4 now. And you have an, oh no. And you have your going, to nitrous bolt? Your child goes to Eden Academy? It's like, oh, then your child's at Eden too? What year? And yours like, she's in 1st grade. It's like, no way. Then you and Melinda both have kids in the same year. And one of the others goes, which class? It's like, class 3. And Melinda's like, forger. It's like, oh my gosh, how crazy that would meet like this. Oh, I knew it. It's like, forgive me, I never properly introduced myself, did I? I'm Melinda. Melinda Desmond. She just puts the cup down and just, oh God. Just the subtle way her eyes would before kind of like almost grandmotherly, now kind of just like the way they've narrowed now makes her look so much more like cunning than before. Oh, I love it. Alright, so I guess go from the start with the chapter stuff. I haven't talked about it. I always love the Yor chapters. I'm glad we're finally getting some more focus on Yor again. Like, as much as I loved like the boat arc with her playing bodyguard slash assassin, I feel like that was still in some ways like mostly still in Yor's kind of comfort zone. Apart from like the moments where she had to, play interference and try to avoid Lloyd and Anya. Like, she's still, playing the role of assassin is something that she excelled at and kind of had like, experience with. So I'm glad we're kind of like getting to explore like the other side of that now. Because as much as, Lloyd and Yor's marriage is a marriage of convenience for both of them, I think this chapter kind of highlighted how so far we haven't really seen Yor thought process, I guess, or at least our thought process with regards to, like, maintaining the facade of, being a good mother and a good housekeeper and all that. So I'm glad we're finally getting like some of the focus on that with regards to like insecurities about, is her cover good enough? Is she like blending in well enough, or is she sticking out too much? What can she do to kind of like to fit in better and kind of blend in and be inconspicuous? I've also seen like a couple of mutuals talk about this, point this out, where they're like, yours very, very much coded as being neurodivergent, possibly even, autistic with her, with the way that she doesn't really know how to conform to, like societal standards of like, what's normal and like what's expected of a woman of like her age and her station. And I think like this chapter kind of really does emphasize that, that Yor is kind of like, has struggling with trying to fit in. And I think that's something I definitely relate to a lot, especially with this chapter, where she's like, am I saying the right thing? Like, oh, is my behavior weird? Like, what's, everyone going to think of me? I think a lot of that definitely points towards, even if not canon, I think it is what's the word I'm looking for? I think it is a reading you can take away from her character. So I did like that. God, I kind of suspected that, when you had the Lady Patriot Society, I'm like, all right, this, like, the closer we got to the end of the chapter, I'm like, all right, she must be Desmond's mother. Like, this must be the way it was going. So it's good to get, like, the confirmation of that by the end of the chapter, not have it dragged out a little bit too much. Like I said, I think the reason, like, the whole, like, the reveal works at the end, and like it makes her seem more cunning, even if unintentionally, is how just like enthusiastic and supportive of Yor she is through like this entire ordeal, where Yor is constantly thinking like, oh, am I screwing up? Am I sticking out too much? Are they gonna think weird thoughts about me? And Belinda's kind of like just there, like being all supportive and friendly, being like, oh, and just calm down, take it easy, don't be too anxious. We're all in this together. So I think having that precede, the eventual reveal that she is Desmond's thing, and she's part of the patriotic society, I think kind of helps set up like that sense, a little bit of sense of unease about what the Lady Patriot Society really is all about. Oh yeah, apart from that, I'm glad we've got like this little plot point now of your kind of being integrated into the larger plot, kind of becoming entwined into Lloyd's mission. So it'll be interesting to see like how that's gonna start progressing and advancing as Lloyd tries to get deeper in with Damien, and Cohen is like trying to get closer to him. Especially because I had the thought as I was going through it, like I didn't think of this before, but I don't think Lloyd has really considered it either. But if he did eventually get to the point where he's meeting with Damien at the Imperial Scholars meeting, I think I never considered, what would happen with like your being there. Like, would Damien be talking to her, like trying to get a gauge on her and like what she's like and everything like that? So I think, you know, Lloyd now having, I guess, kind of another asset, even if yours an unknowing one, will definitely help his mission. Also help, kind of make things a little bit more complex and complicated. So I'm looking forward to all of that. Really good chapter. I hope we get a little bit more of your before we get into any new stuff. So I hope we're going to sit with this development a little bit more, kind of get a little bit more developed with the Lady Society. But yeah, good chapter. Really enjoyed it. Can never go wrong with the Your chapter. Looking forward to the next one. So forgive me because I know my brain scrambles. I can't remember if I said this at the beginning, but I'll just quickly reiterate. So like I said, expect a channel update video sometime today as well. Read-throughs will hopefully be back next week, but I'll have further details on the channel update videos to look out for that. Apart from that, I will get to the kaiju videos today as well. As always, if you like my content, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Till next time, this is Ash. Talk to you all later.